back, moving around and help moving things back apart sometimes, and that's the way they're able to get relief from it. And in extreme cases, why then they have to go in there and operate and fuse the two vertebrae together so that they're actually solid then. You take the cartilage clear out and so that the nerves aren't being pinched.
Yeah, of course, I definitely remember how,
But it's painful.
yeah, how depressed Grandpa was. Well, not as depressed as feeling very badly about the death of Grandma, of course, to the point where he broke out with these hives. And, well, I never knew that he was as nervous as that, but that's what nerves do, don't they?
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah, that one.
Anyways,
That was when we were living on the West Coast. I remember we were home here. And then he had that problem. He showed us.
What year did they move into this house here?
1930.
about
1930, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, right, because it was the same year that we were married.
Yeah, Anna said she lived in the old house with them from March to June.
Oh, yes.
Because they couldn't move into this house till it was ready in June of 1930.
And did Jake, was it Jake Portfleet that lived with
George.
George, yeah.
Uncle George.
Did he, Uncle George, yeah, did he lived with them all that time too?
Well, no,
No.
This was some years later.
Later. Because, wait a minute.
He lived with Aunt Ella and
Right, Ed.
Yeah.
That's right.
I can remember a can of Prince Albert tobacco sitting there ever since I can remember.
That was Uncle George?
That was Uncle George,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just might like to smoke his pipe.
What I remember about Uncle George is that after breakfast, he almost always had a little bit of egg on his mustache.
Right. He had a big mustache. Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't have a wife to tell him to brush it off. I think she'd...
Let's tell him. Same thing.
Well, no, it's a little different than that, right?
What was this?
What would a day have consisted of for Grandma? How early would she have gotten up, and what would she have done? And this is really for our
She got up
grandkids.
early. She got up early, I know. I'm sure they got up 5 o'clock in the busiest time of the year. Because there was baking bread to do, there was churning to do, there was milking to do, and it was a busy, busy time.
Did the women milk?
Well, Grandma once told some of us kids that she rather thought it was relaxing to be sitting there milking the cow because then she could pray for her children.
Yeah, my mother, she really liked to milk. She didn't mind that one bit. And she would milk cows.
Then she would come inside and fix breakfast.
I think so.
And after breakfast, what would she do?
I suppose mix her bread if she had to bake bread that day.
And then?
Oh, lunch. Yes, because they had to have their forenoon coffee, sure.
Morning.
And
Morning
pack
coffee.
for those that were in the field. They
We
had
were
to
out in
pack
the field,
sandwiches and cookies.
make lunch, and Pa would usually bring us the lunch in the field, so we wouldn't have to go home then.
Little glass I can use?
Yes. Just open up that. There is a fly here, I think.
Morning tea, then what would she do?
Oh, that was dinner. Well, I suppose in that time between breakfast and she had those beds to make, and if it was a wash day, she had a big wash to do, and that was so much of that was done by hand. You know, these. Did you ever see one of these round wooden tub wash machines that you pulled the jigger back and forth, and that would circle the clothes inside?
How often did you wash?
Oh, I suppose when she had a baby in diapers, you know. You didn't use these other deals that I imagine twice a week for sure.
That was modern. They didn't have the scrub boards, huh?
Well, do you know that I think she began that way? Now, I'm sure she did. But when I remember her washing, she had one of these round.
Remember we had that old hand washer, you know, that you back, and we had that until I bought
on the engine.
I think I bought 2 motorcycles.
these,
And I had one engine
you know, these
that I
horsepower
didn't
engines, what do they
need,
call
so
them? You know, that they ran the well with?
I hooked down that washing
Gasoline
machine.
engine. That's what they
I
used.
did the washing with an old motorcycle engine. And I remember I went to Wilmer. I had to have something to cool that. So I bought a fan at old Rifkin's.
Oh, really?
Hooked that up with a belt to cool the motorcycle engine. And I had to run that motorcycle just about as slow as it could go. Just puck, 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 puck. Or otherwise run the wash machine too fast.
See that?
And geared low, geared down quite low enough.
You see what those guys did that?
That's what you guys got all.
How would you get it to agitate?
Huh?
I could see spin dry, but
No, this actually the gears underneath it were such that you if you put a pulley on it and just keep running it one way, that the agitator would work for
Did you
back.
I guess they must do that now
Did you
too.
have a Maytag when you lived out here?
With an old,
yeah, I think I did.
wood.
With the motor at the bottom?
You know,
Yeah,
made
okay.
out of hard wood.
Yeah.
And it was,
And you had to put the exhaust through a window or something? Yeah, I still have mine. Yeah.
That sit inside of a
I'm
yoke.
43 years old. We got it when Don was little.
Just going like that.
I still have it, but
Is
now
that a Harley
it's
Davidson
been
motor?
changed into
yeah, an old single cylinder Harley
I
Davidson.
still like it
engine.
open. I also have an automatic, of course. Yeah.
That was the first,
And how do you bring the clothes out?
With a ringer that you also have to turn. So you got
By
lots of exercise.
Wow.
I can remember a hand wringer my grandparents had.
Really?
oh yeah.
First with the
My mother had that.
with the Maytag and the ringer,
Just thought
you
about
had to
it.
be very careful. My poor Don went through the ringer one time with his little Esther. She did
Oh,
too.
there
She
was no
did.
spin right.
She still got the skin is grown to her bone out here. Really? And the skin underneath. You know, Don's went in up to his shoulder. How old were you? She's about 3, 4. So I guess Don was too, but Don went way up to the shoulder. Of course, then he couldn't go no farther, you know. And I saw that he was in trouble, and of course I released the thing right away. Yeah, that's where he has his scars, right up in there. She's got hers here, but she went this far. And then we rolled it back out. Rolled it back. Oh. It wouldn't release. It wouldn't release. Oh.
It wouldn't release.
Then there was no choice then. And I couldn't let it go any further up. I had to turn around and let it go back. Couldn't.
You only thought about loosening the tension
Yeah,
on it.
I could loosen mine. I get so excited at a time like that. Yeah, you do funny things, don't you? I do remember that. Yeah.
But see, if you push them all the blood up, so when you'll run it down, like
Oh, I got some stood up, like you're ready to burst.
Yeah, we didn't have OSHA back then. OSHA.
Yeah, you don't bring them at all anymore. They're all spun down now. Occupational safety.
Annie Jo, what are some of your favorite things that you remember about Grandma or Grandpa?
Well, I think that they were always so very inviting to us, you know, after we lived way up there near Raymond, you know, on a farm. They were always so inviting to us and so happy when we'd come, you know. They were just together for a while, and then Uncle George was with them too for a while. But, how about Sunday after church, you all come to Grandma's house and have dinner? And then one grandma lived here and the other one over there, so sometimes we had exchange. One Sunday here, next Sunday there. Yeah. And I especially always associate her with the old Dutch songs. And that's one thing about my father too, after he missed Mother so much. Then he recalled this psalm, I think it's the 25th or the 42nd. O mijn ziel, wat buigt u neder, waartoe zijt gij mij ontrust. That was the 25th. 42nd, Hagen had the jacht don't go. Yeah, that's the first one, but this comes farther down. Now, and Mother's was, Saul sang love selfs in the nacht, singing daar ik hem verwacht. Can you tell which one that is?
I can tell.
I've got it.
Psalm.
I maybe
I
can
can't
look it
tell
up.
which one that one is.
Just to make sure.
I know the 42nd tagging not the Yahweh.
Yeah, I
Still
remember
not.
a lot of them.
They don't think.
This is
Well,
given
well,
to
what
me
do you mean? Sam?
from Ben Dyke on that Sam's.
They remembered certain
Songs,
songs,
yeah,
yeah.
used them in
church.
church.
But
They always sang
And
songs.
the old tradition was they all had to be
them by that
the Psalms that David wrote, you know. Psalms.
Well, it is awfully small print.
Show Larry.
I grant you, you're right.
So you would sing David's psalms.
Huh?
You would sing the scriptural songs.
Yes, and they were put to rhyme, sort of. They were put to rhyme, not just like they're worded in the Bible. They were put to a rhyme.
You know, we do that now again, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, they put that song.
Now, I didn't give you a familiar one there, did I? Which one did I give you there? I just opened it.
Well, they're in Dutch, so I don't think any of them would be familiar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Well, I'll always remember that. Yeah, this one, you know, the first of 42 was Hey, Kathy.
Yeah.
But I always thought
Well,
of
this
that.
is the New Testament.
And she also died, you know.
Yeah, but right in the New Testament
In the New
are the Psalms
Yeah.
in
So I
music.
always just kind of associated that with her.
Oh.
When she died there, you know.
Speaking
She sort of
English
passed
as going
away.
to 23rd
I probably don't have them anymore.
See, I saw her die.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Holland, when I was
Lucas.
at, you know,
Bam Lucas.
Why were
And
these
it's nice to
songs
see
in
them go
some
peaceful.
They're
Yeah, there's no,
Yeah.
shall I say,
because they were
yeah.
fighting for breath, because I imagine that
I thought they made a mistake
so benevolent.
with the
Hebrew.
older,
Mom is real quiet, you know.
That's the way they
Peter.
did that.
You know.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Okay, let's
that
test
they-
and see if we can find it. Oh, yes.
26.
all the time.
She's gone.
Then when
Oh,
we came into school, you know,
Matthew.
That into a problem.
Well,
No,
I
I said, she's not there.
You
You're up
say-
there. And
they told nothing but all, you know, when she went to
1909.
school,
Can't stand you people.
16, 18.
Yeah, her believer would say that.
Yeah.
I was the fourth one in the family, but so before.
What does band mean? when it
they
says-
were talking Holland in the house, and it was all our conversation was.
Ben Lucas.
Was all in.
Well, see now, we just say Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, but this means from Luke. This is written by Luke, or it's from. If from would be from, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
And of course,
The apostles would be the Acts of the Apostles.
When I was going to school.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, that would be a little different thing,
They-
wouldn't it? Huh?
And
they
then,
had it this way, that
From
when, when we read the
what would that be
Bible
for Galatians?
after meals.
On the Galatians, yeah. That again, you see, that means that this is, yeah, we
Forgotten.
Yeah.
the Zenbrief.
Zenbrief, you know, that's the letter.
Then they wanted.
From them, Apostle Paulus,
Dad would read,
on them,
and then
on
we
the,
supposed to follow on, you
Galatia. I
know.
don't know why they had to put that all in there. I mean, I suppose it was just to make it plainer that it was Paul that wrote to the
Bible
Galatians.
that
You
you
think?
read out of was
I
really
imagine
good.
Something like that.
Yeah, right. And also the sermons, you know, were all Dutch.
Yeah, everything was always Dutch every Sunday.
And then we had.
I wonder what year that was when that was changed. You see, they first started by one sermon Dutch and the other one American language, and then they changed it afterwards.
Can you read the Dutch?
I can read it. I can't
read
talk
some-
it.
I can't read it.
And of course, I can say the Lord's Prayer,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. I can remember, and I can read it. But there are some words in there. Of course, I have Grandpa's old Dutch Bible too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And then
That is a much bigger
print. Answer the questions, you know, and of course that was all in Holland.
But outside of the church, most everybody spoke English.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
except a
Bappa,
few.
though, not Bappa.
Yeah, right. There's a few that just would never,
I was wondering
Except that.
whether my great
and you know, Trinche was like that.
Yeah.
So Bappa would only speak Dutch?
Yeah.
And most of it was priests, because that was the dialect that.
So if you wanted to talk with her, you had to speak Dutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
The best we knew.
Yeah.
She didn't like it when my kids come there and speak English. She'd tell him.
Could she understand? Would she just refuse?
She refused, but we believe that she understood some of it.
I think she did too, because I know Trinja did. I know that.
Thank you, that was Mrs. Claus Hoekstra, you know, I'm telling you about.
You know, I have to tell a joke on her once. You know, she had an almanac,
Too gentle.
and she claimed that her almanac was quite accurate. And Uncle John Hoekstra, you know, he always liked to kid her a lot, if you remember that. He liked to kid her, you know,
He did.
about different things. And
still, Jan was her favorite.
He says to her, well, he said, how can you tell if your almanac is accurate or not? And, he said, you can't even talk. He said, how can you read? Well, let's see one. Then it said on the almanac, it said that it's moderate, you know. Well, she took that, you know, that it was muddy weather.
Oh, no!
Yeah, she said, that meant moderate. You know? I never forget that. My Uncle Johnny, he would laugh about that. Moderate man, you know, it was moderate.
Hey, can I get us a little tea here?
No,
Listen how the words, the 23rd Psalm, you know, you can just see where the words rhyme. Can you read the 23rd Psalm?
In English?
No, in Dutch.
In Dutch?
Listen how it rhymes.
The hart des heils will make and have their wezen.
Lazy.
Ja. Geen gebrek. You know what that means? Nothing lacking. Heb geen verwaar te vrezen.
The phrasing.
Hij zal mijn zacht en leidelijk weiden aan de overs van zeer stille wateren leiden. Mijn sterk mijn ziel, hij sterkt mijn ziel, recht om mijn naam. Mijn treden al effen spoor van zijn betierenheid.
Do you remember how it would sound sung?
No.
No, but we know that 43rd Psalm we could sing
Yes, yeah, we could sing that one.
Let's try it once.
Okay,
The 43rd.
let's get it here.
Let's try to sing the 42nd Psalm. I remember some words in it. Starts with Hagen Hart, the Yachtun Call.
Yeah, that we knew that tune because we sang that oftener.
Yeah.
And then the 68th, you remember that?
Yeah. I know the 42nd.
That had a higher pitch. Here it is. Here.
I think Hagen Hart.
Hello, Hattie.
Okay.
It's all half notes.
Yeah.
See what?
Maybe we get too high too. Can you give us the fifth? We should have Rudy here.
Yeah.
Rudy would be able to sing that.
Yeah.
Because he had
Hagen Hart, der Jachthomen, stil niet sterke genot van de frisse waterstromen, dan mijn ziel verlangt naar God. Ja, mijn ziel doorsnaren Heer, wat des levens of wanneer zal ik naden voor uw ogen, in uw huis uw naam verhogen. That's the first
Did you
song.
notice the rhyme in there? Like,
Yes,
you know how we
yes.
put the words?
Yeah.
Most of them are.
Yeah, that's all the songs we used to sing.
But did you have musical instruments in the church?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Organ. We had organ.
Organ. But
Now we get
the organ was, this was a
the
cappella.
first organ they had in the church. She's got it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you sung this a cappella, or did you sing it with the organ?
We sang with the organ.
With the organ. I see.
We had an organist.
And Daddy.
And Daddy.
Our only aunt.
Only aunt. Oh.
You still got the organ.
Grandpa Hoekstra.
We used it when we celebrated our.
They ought to see that organ.
Yeah, they should see that little organ.
Memories, or some more, we should get there with
Yeah.
this tape.
Okay.
Oh,
That was great.
Services held in the English language, and especially the old timers all had to be in Holland, otherwise it wasn't so good. It was better if it was.
Well, didn't they have a Holland service early in the morning and then an English service at
We did that
11?
for quite a while.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember that.
I was wondering how anybody else could have joined the Dutch Reformed Church if they weren't Dutch.
Yeah.
Well, they
That's
did.
why it had to be all Dutchman, see?
They did. That's the way it was with my Mennonite church.
Dutchman's church out
It was all in German. And if you didn't speak German, you didn't attend church for a long time.
That's why on folks' announcements I said, do I put Roseland Dutch Reform or do Roseland Reformed Church? And I decided it was just Reformed Church, not Dutch Reformed anymore.
No, they dropped theirs.
Well, I suppose we should get going.
Yeah, we're gonna stay there. Most of them are leaving in the morning.
Around
How are
here.
you guys?
Yeah,
That's the whole
we are
world,
going to this morning.
Okay. That's good.
And Shirley and Esther and Larry won't be here. But, Jerry.
Columbus must have been Dutch, right?
They're staying
Yeah.
first.
I mean, if God wrote the Bible in Dutch, we got it right here.
That's not as good in the binding, so I left
How long have you
it in
been
the
living
box. Well, this one ain't so good. I left it in the box with a big Bible.
Oh.
Joy,
Mm-hmm.
we lived here for 20 years, girl.
18. We'll be, October, we'll be.
It's close to 20.
Yeah. But we lived 27 on that farm, near Raymond.
How far away was it? Do you remember the time I came over there and slept and then I didn't like it for the night?
I don't know, dear.
And I told my folks if they'd just let me come home, I'd just eat bread and water.
Oh, really? I don't remember that, Shirley. But I'll never forget the episode you had there.
I'm homesick.
Did the finger happen on your place?
Sure. On that
Oh,
farm.
and then wrapped it up and
Took them off to the doctor.
drove me to
I
Lower.
drove your
Yeah,
car.
Hattie.
Yeah.
Hattie
Oh,
gets to
yeah.
drive because I don't drive. But,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was stupid.
I remember there was thunder and lightning.
Sam
and
has
I didn't
got
like it.
a piece of his off. That happened on the farm, too.
Yeah.
He stuck his in the corn binder.
Alvin. Yeah, that's Donnie.
Calvin, Donnie, Charlotte, and Mavis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember that. You know what I remember about the old farm? As kids, always had to go, slept upstairs. And but the older people got to stay up late, and they were downstairs. And so we'd all huddle around the register up there and look downstairs. Except once in a while, one of them would come up like this here, and he'd look like this here, and we'd all retract.
Oh, I suppose we could just hear a little bit of that and think, well, those kids are not sleeping, huh?
We were all sitting there looking down and see what we were missing.
Oh, that's the way that upstairs was heated.
Just
And that
convection
time-
registers?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a register. You only
Sure, about so
So the
big.
heat would go upstairs,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was warm over there.
Has things changed much? Doesn't your kid stay up the head of the stairs as long as they can? What's going on?
Yeah.
They know their mother has a big stick.
We always had to watch out for somebody coming by there, and they'd look up real quick, and
Yeah.
they'd jump back.
That house has been moved, Wesley, from where it
Yeah.
was to across the drive and then kind of corner-wise into the garden this way. And they put a piece on both ends, so it looks very different. I think it's a garage, a double garage on one side, and I'm not sure, maybe it's a family room on the other end, huh? Could be.
Charlotte had a playhouse too, right across the driveway, right?
Oh, yes.
Road.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Or in the corn crib. Did you ever play one in there?
I think we did, but I remember the one in the Grove.
right. I was telling Donnie that we were remembering about we used to take those old gopher traps, We were trying to catch those mice around there on the corn crib. And I as I recall, the only thing we ever caught was chickens.
They didn't tell you about that, then.
Oh, yeah, you need a mouse trap for mice. They're only little bitty things.
Might catch his tail.
Oh,